believe I'll wait a month. How many people want me to start something without it? Yeah, on Saturday morning, sure as always, go ahead.
Because he's late.
Or during the meditation, he does have some time, it's like restroom or something, you know. Things that I don't ask about. I know. That's the thing.
Do me a favor, Sandy, so
Yeah.
that I understand here.
Yeah.
When he comes out, ask him, he's got my father on the yard site. That's the reason we're all here.
Yep, okay, first name?
Franz, F-R-A-N-S.
Oh. Franz. Sure. I wonder how Francis got her name. My grandfather's name was Ludwig, and my middle name is Louise.
He doesn't, Dan, he really doesn't live, he doesn't have a list. He doesn't have a list of people that he reads off anymore.
But he'll
anybody,
call
Oh, he can ask. Okay.
he asks and then you say,
All right.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you very much. Thank you.
What was your dad's name?
Franz Stern, like Franz Schubert, whatever. Franz Liszt. Anyway, yeah, it was funny, you know, she got Francis Stern, Francis Street, that's my father, because she was literally a seed when we were in Rochester for his funeral.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, then you have to. You have to. How's Becky? Becky? No, Becky's not.
No, Becky was not available, Ben is sick.
Yeah. And Becky's husband is away?
Pardon me?
Is he away? Becky's husband?
Yes, he's out on his boat. South Atlantic and
Oi,
we'll be home, you know, another week or so.
how long does he go out?
Well, it's been 2 months on, 2 months off, but I think they're about to change that.
Are they?
So it's 1 month on, 1 month off, and we're not a week. So,
Uh-huh. But he's in the middle of the ocean.
yeah, he is.
Oi,
It's a nice place. They're not going anyplace, so the water's not up.
okay.
They're a drill.
Right,
That's what
but
they do now.
I mean, you could have a storm at any time, right? Ugh, yeah. Yeah,
C'est la vie.
I know. You choose your poison. You could live in Kansas or you could be in the Atlantic.
Hi, Jan. I won't try that.
Jack, we good? Yeah, lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, lie. Yeah, la, lie, lie, lie. Yeah, lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, lie, lie, lie. Yeah, lie, lie. Yeah, la, lie, lie, lie. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, la, la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, la, la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Shabbat shalom and welcome on this Shabbat, the darkest Shabbat of the year, the Shabbat closest to the solstice. So with that, we'll make our own light. We'll begin with Ma Yafeh Hayom. How beautiful is this day? Shabbat Shalom. May it be a day of peace. It's toward the top of page 128 in your Siddur.
Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Page 131. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shir Ladonai Baruch Hu Shemo Batzru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Yismechu Hashamayim V'tagel Haaretz Yiramayam Umelo. 132. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exalt. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exalt. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai, who is coming to rule the earth justly and its peoples in faithfulness. Page 133. Mizmor Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Hiniflaot Asa Hoshi Alo Yamino Uzaro Azro Akocho Hodi Adonai Yeshuato Lene Hagoyim Magila Tzidkato Zachar Chasno Bemunato Levet Yisrael Ra'u Cholap Sehe Aretz Bet Yeshuat Eloheinu Yai Lai Lai Hariu Ladonai Kol Haaretz Hitzchu V'ranenu V'zameru Zamru Ladonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Bechatzutzrot Bekol Shofar Hariu Lifnei Melech Adonai Yiram Hayam Umelo Tevel Veyoshveva Yaelai Narod Yemchu Chaf Yachad Harim Yiranenu Lifnei Adonai Kihiva Lishpot Haaretz Lishpot Tevel B'tzedek Be'amim Be'mei Shaharim Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Ya la la lai 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 Yai lai lai ya lai la lai lai Ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai Ya la lai ya la lai ya lai la lai lai Ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai Yalalai, 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 lai, lai, yalalai, yalalai, ya, lai, 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 ya, lai, 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 hey, ya, lai, 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 ya, lai, 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 ya, lai, 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 ya, lai, 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 lai. Page 138. Lecha Dodi, we welcome the Shabbat bride. When we get to the final stanza, stanza 9, we'll sing every other. We'll rise and we'll face toward the west, that way, and bow and greeting Shabbat as a bride.
Shamor v'zachor libor echad ishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'lethilah lekadodi likad kala Pene Shabbat nekavela. Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzeim mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach shevet be'emet avachar v'hu yachamol alayik kemla lekadodi likad kala pene Shabbat nekavela Hitoreri, kiva oret humi ori. Uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayik ken l'nikla. Lekadodi, likad kala. Pene Shabbat nekavela. V'hayulim shisa shosai v'rakaku kol mivalayim Yasis alayik Elohayim Imsos katan hakala Lekadodi likad kala Pene Shabbat nekavela Mori v'shalom ateret bala Gam besimcha u'tzola Token munei am segula Boi kala Lekadodi likad kala Neve Shabbat nekavela Hallelujah 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 Hallelujah
Page 263. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba. V'yalma divrach urtei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon. Uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala. Uvismahan kariv. V'yameru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam lo me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei l'kudsha berichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'yemeru amen. We rise as able for Baruch Hu, page 264. Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie. Yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. Please be seated. Page 265. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv ha'aravi. Page 266, Ahavat Olam, an eternal love. We speak of the Torah as a gift, a sign of the love between God and the people of Israel, and of the gift we have of being able to continuously learn and find renewal and strength in ancient words, reinterpreted anew in each generation. Page 266.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah
Tzadikim umishpatim otanu limadata otanu limadata Akin Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbeinu uvkumeinu na'asiyah bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. 267. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvlachtecha havaderech, uvshokbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam laot al yadecha, v'hayu latotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim leloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher Hotzeti Etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, V'yot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Amen. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event. So we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Page 270. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha edarba kodesh nora tehilot osef meheled nora tehilot osef meheled. Won't you help to sing the song of freedom? Malchutecha ra'u v'anacha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam zeh anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom, these songs of freedom, redemption song. ונאמר כי פלדלי יד יעקב וגולו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. Hashkivenu, prayer for peace, for shelter, page 271.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Behamidenu, Shomreinu Lechayim, Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Page 272. V'hishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam leolam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz Uvayom Hashavi Shabbat Vayinafash. We rise as able. Page 273. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Vanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot Bimahot, Umevi Goel Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atagi Borleo Lamadonai, Mechaye Metim Atarav Loshia, Vashivaruach Umurid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim Berofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Geburot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanat Halachayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Continue with the rest of Tefillah on our own to page 282, the Hebrew, the English, or your own heart's private prayers and meditations. When you conclude, you may feel free to be seated. Shalom Rav Yisrael, Hadasim Le'olam, Kivim Nachanam, Shalom, Kivim Racham Yisrael, B'Chalei D'Voshma, B'Shlomecha. I'm a Berachat Lo Yisrael, B'Shalom.
Oseh Shalom, prayer for peace, an upbeat version. Oseh Shalom b'Romam, Kuyaseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom b'Romam, Uyase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Bimromo. Uyase Shalom Aleinu. Yase Shalom. Yase Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael. Yase Shalom. Yase Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael. Ose Shalom Bimromo. Uyase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Bimromo. Uyase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Bimromo. Uyase Shalom Aleinu. Yase Shalom. Yase Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael. 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 Yase Shalom. Yase Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'yakol Yisrael.
So we think now of the blessings in our lives, all that we are grateful for, sometimes big life cycle events, sometimes small things, but significant things that help guide our path through dark times. I invite anybody, if you're here, you can share something you're grateful for, should you like to do so. And if you are online, you can type them into the chat and we'll convey them.
On Monday, Sandy and I are celebrating our 40th wedding.
Wow, Mazel Tov. You're at the promised land. Yeah. Fabulous. Yeah.
Love seeing the first snow on the ground here in the valley. It was just a beautiful morning. And I guess it was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jack, do you have anybody online?
Yeah, Andre said to all the folks that helped her.
So for all these things, for all that we celebrate in our lives, we say Modima Nachnu Lach. We give thanks to you, Eternal One, Creator and Sustainer of life. May we go from strength to strength, and may we offer our abundant gratitude for your blessings along the way. Let us say Amen. Prayer for healing, for all those in need of healing, healing of body, healing of soul, healing of spirit. Again, if you are here, feel free to speak the names of those who you are holding in prayers for healing. And you can include yourself. Somebody last week wondered if they could, you can include yourself. And if you're online, again, type into the chat anybody who you are holding in thoughts and prayers.
My sister Eileen and my daughter Elizabeth. My daughter Sarah.
Caswell, Bethel, and Dunwell.
Prayer for Debbie Holmes and her brother David, is it Salzburg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Salzburg.
For Beverly Zumon and Misty Black.
Dan?
And the important person who was not here, my grandson, who was homesick with tonsillitis.
Oh.
Oh. Jack, you got anybody online?
Yeah, Valerie says reading level. Valerie says boy on Mars. And so Shira,
So for all of these, we'll hold in our prayers. We'll sing Misha Berach, page 371 in your Siddur. Misha Berach, Avotenu, Ekor HaBracha, may the source of strength who bless the one before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Among our Jewish communities, countless traditions, blessings, rituals. One of my very favorites is that of blessing children at the Friday night Shabbat dinner table. So many years later, I can still, as an adult, recall the warmth of my father's hands on my head and his steady and loving words of blessing. And upon having my own children, it has been my privilege to go from generation to generation and to bless them. The blessing for daughters, which I am familiar with for most of my life as a parent, makes perfect sense. May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May God make you, in the end, like the mothers of the Jewish people. But what about the blessing for sons? For that, the traditional words are taken from the Torah portion that we read tomorrow morning, which is also the final portion in the book of Genesis, which brings that long saga to a close. The words, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim u'ke'Menashe. We ask of our sons, may God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh. So who were Ephraim and Manasseh? And why may God make our sons like them? Ephraim and Manasseh are the two sons of Joseph and his wife Osnat. They are the only grandchildren born to Jacob in the land of Egypt. And Jacob adopts these two grandchildren as if they were his own sons, and they will become the names and the founders of 2 of the 12 tribes. Still, why bless sons by their names? Why not may God make you like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Moses, or David, Isaiah, Jeremiah, almost any of the other biblical male characters who are far, far better known than Ephraim and Manasseh, about whom we know almost nothing. I say almost because there is one essential thing that we do learn from the lives of Jacob's grandchildren. So consider the scene as we encounter it in our portion. We read, Jacob took them both, Ephraim and Manasseh, and Joseph took them and placed them in front of his father, who was mostly blind at this point. Ephraim in Jacob's right hand, and Manasseh in Jacob's left hand. And he brought them near. But Jacob reached out his right hand and laid it on the head of Ephraim, who was the younger one, and he crossed his left hand and put it on the head of Manasseh, who was the firstborn. Text goes on to say that when Joseph saw this, he was unhappy. So he took his father's hands and tried to uncross them and place them as he had presented the children. And Joseph said to his father, "You're not getting this right. This is my firstborn. You should put your right hand, the hand that represents strength, on his head." So even now, at the end of the book of Genesis, after generations of disaster brought about through favoritism, from the beginning of the book, when God chooses Abel's offering over Cain's, and Cain responds by killing his brother. Constant sibling rivalry. And yet, Joseph still wants to give priority to Manasseh, to get him the blessing from that preferred, stronger right hand. But the text adds, but Jacob refused. And he said, "I know, my son, I know what I'm doing. He shall also become a great people, and he shall also be mighty. Nevertheless, his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his offspring shall become a multitude of nations." And so, with his hands crossed, Jacob blessed his grandchildren, saying, "By you, Israel will give blessings," saying, "May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." And so we do to this day. And so Jacob put Ephraim, the younger, ahead of Manasseh, the firstborn. A seeming repeat of that same insidious old pattern. And yet, it's not. Because this time, after all those generations, it doesn't result in war or enmity. Manasseh doesn't complain. He accepts the blessing together with his younger brother, and the two of them live the rest of their lives in peace. The first biblical siblings to do so. Finally, bitter rivalry gives way to mutual compassion and love. Ephraim and Manasseh are the first brothers ever to get along. How amazing. Think about the whole history. Fratricide, tension between Abraham's 2 sons, Isaac and Ishmael, between Jacob and Esau, between Joseph and his older brothers. In Genesis, there is even sibling rivalry between sisters. The women are not exempt from the problem. Jacob's first wife, Leah, has all the children. Jacob's second wife, Rachel, has her husband's undying love. Each wants what the other has. Leah desperately craves Jacob's love and attention. Rachel desperately desires a child and ultimately will die in childbirth. This theme of rivalry seems without end. And in all of these cases, there is some reconciliation between siblings. Late in the game, most of the time, Isaac and Ishmael come together to bury their father Abraham. Jacob and Esau will embrace. Leah will give Rachel her son's mandrakes in exchange for her husband returning to her tent. Joseph will eventually forgive his brothers when he encounters them in Egypt. But still, nowhere do siblings get along until the very last chapter of the book of Genesis. And that, friends, is why we bless our sons, that they may be like Ephraim and Manasseh. Because as anyone who has parented or taught siblings learns very quickly, the greatest blessing one can ask, beyond riches and power and influence, is the blessing of shalom, of peace. Sometimes even just a moment of peace is a source of such respite and of blessing. That is why the psalmist wrote and why we sing. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how pleasant it is when we dwell as brothers and sisters together in peace. Can you hear that song in this big song? Concluding portion of our service, we rise as able for Aleinu in the middle of page 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekedu l'aliotzer b'reshit, shelo asani kugei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavinu modim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'nemar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad Ushamo, Ushamo, Ushamo Echad. Please be seated. We will in a moment offer mourner's Kaddish, a prayer for those who have died. And so I invite you, if you are joining us virtually now, to type into the chat names of family and dear ones who you wish to remember on this Shabbat. We think of our loved ones, those whose death is taken from us recently, those who have died at this season in years past, all those we have drawn into our hearts together with our own. So if you are here, if you have names of people for Kaddish,
Chang Matang.
My father, Franz Stern, who missed by one day, saved his first grandchild.
Muriel Isaacson, mother of Shelley Levy, Mark Peterman, brother of David Peterman, Arnold Stewart. Online. Zichronam Levracha, may the memories of all these be a source of blessing. I invite the mourners and those whose custom it is to rise for Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkedash shemei Rava, v'yalma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam lo me'almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha barichu le'elam minko birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiran v'yalma v'yamru, amen. Yehei shalom araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yamru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav v'yasei shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru, amen. May the one who makes peace on high let peace descend on us, on all Israel, on all the world. May comfort be with all who mourn, and let us say amen. Please be seated. So as always, tomorrow morning, our service at 10 o'clock, we will finish the book of Genesis, of Bereshit. Thank yous to our musical team, to Steve and Petra and Brad and Sandy for lifting us with the music, and to Eddie for setting us up, and to Jack for, if you're listening, virtually, he's the reason you can see and hear us. So thank you, and with some leadership from Shelley too, overseeing the whole sound and picture thing. We're going to end with Adon Olam. I think we're going to honor the first snowfall. Is that our?
I think so. So many songs that we hear in this season were written by Jewish songwriters, composers, and we thought we would do one with thanks to Sammy Kahn and Julie Stein. This is just great for the solstice and for the first snow. And the ever adaptable Adon Olam, to which we've done to a zillion different tunes, fits this one. It worked at home, so we'll see if it can work here tonight. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Adon Olam asher malach, b'terem kol yitzir nivra. Li'et nasa v'chavso kol, asai melech shemo nikra. V'acharei kichlot hakol, levado yimlok nora. V'hu haveh, v'hu yiyeh b'tifara. V'hu echad v'yein sheni, lehamshilo lehakdira. V'li reshit v'li takli, lo haoz v'hamisra.
goli, Tzorkali v'yetzara, Emisi umanosli, Menakasi b'yom ekra, V'hada kidruhi, V'etishan v'ha'ira, Yimruhi gaviyati, Adonai li v'lo ira. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yes, Kabbalah.
No, they got it wrong.
Shabbat shalom.